Can social media platforms survive in the age of AI? And I think this is a really important question for libraries. And we're going to get into it in this episode of the Library Marketing Show. Hi, everyone. I'm Angela Hursh from superlibrarymarketing.com. If you head on over there, you can look for the Library Marketing Show tab, and then you can ask a question that I will answer in a future episode, or you can nominate your library or someone else's library for kudos. We're going to begin today's episode with kudos, which is going to the Carroll County Public Library in Maryland. They have won a $5,000 award from Amazon. This is called the Inaugural Excellence in Reading Engagement and Circulation Award. So the award, according to Amazon, recognizes a library for, quote, an impressive and sustained increase in print circulation and expanded access to books. Carroll County apparently is doing a fantastic job of collection promotion. They have a bunch of different author events that they do, and they are able to say that people check out a certain number of books when they come to an author talk. One thing that Carroll County noted in its award is that they have more people going to the checkout that involves a staff member versus self-checkout because people like to interact with their librarians. I think that's awesome. I'm going to put a link to an article in Library Journal about this award down below. I encourage you to read it and think about how you can replicate Carroll County's library's success in your library. Great job, Carroll County Public Library. All right, let's get into today's topic, which is AI-generated content and its impact on social media. So I told you there's an article about this. I'm going to put a link down below, but basically it was looking at LinkedIn in particular, and researchers estimate, get this, that 41% of long-form LinkedIn posts show signs of being AI generated. That blows my mind, especially on LinkedIn. I think that I would have guessed that this was the case on Facebook, but not LinkedIn. When people use AI to do social media, everything ends up sounding the same. Your audience distrusts AI, particularly young people. So I have two Gen Zers who are my daughters in my family, and they are very keen, very good at picking out AI generated content, and they are absolutely 100% anti-AI. So that's an age group that we are trying to get to become lifelong library users and library advocates, which means a couple of things. I have talked to libraries and they use AI to generate their captions on social media posts. And I just want to stress, I know it takes time to write social media post captions. I want you to try to do it from a place of authenticity. Write in your own voice, even if it isn't perfect. If you don't think you're like an influencer, you don't talk like an influencer, talk like you, like a human, and people will recognize that. Begin to trust your library and engage more with your social media posts. The second thing I'm thinking about as I'm reading this article is about the human impact of libraries. We have experts on lots of things, and we don't talk enough about how our staff are experts and how they are better in many ways or more authentic in many ways than AI. And I think that's something we should focus on. We talk a lot about how little time library marketers have. Like, we need to use our time more efficiently. I've said this for a while. I'm going to say it again. I am not certain. Hang on, let me back up. I'm going to say, I don't think that social media is the place where you should be spending most of your time as a library marketer. There are many other channels that allow you to have a more authentic connection with your audience, like email, like print, like your blog, like in person. I think you should be focusing on those channels. Social media is good. Your audience expects you to be on social media. I do not think that your library, a library of any size, should be focused on having social media be the main way that you reach people. The study from social media today is really fascinating. I'm going to put a link down below, and I'm really curious about two things. One, how do you use AI at your library? And two, for library marketing in particular. And two is, how do you feel this idea of authenticity? How is it showing up on your own feed? And how do you think about it when you're thinking about your library marketing work? I am really curious. So let's get a conversation started down in the comments. And that's it for this episode of the Library Marketing Show. But my channel is full of other tips for library marketing. If you're interested in learning more, head to the next video and I will meet you there.